Welcome to Larry's Library. This week I've got a non-comic book. Every now and then I do one of those, keep you on your toes. But this one is the Ice Dragon hardcover. This one is a little guy. To give you an idea of the size, here's a standard comic book. So it's pretty small. I mean, I don't know. To me, it looks like it's about the size of a little bit larger than a TV guide, a little bigger than a standard paperback. I don't know. But this is The Ice Dragon by George R.R. Martin. The Comic Slayer, Kristen, my daughter, got me this one. She found this somewhere and picked it up for me. Anyway, it is it's published by Tor Teen. It still appears to be in print. It is $16.99 is the MSRP, and Amazon has it at the time of shooting for $14.15. So, as I said, this is written by George R.R. Martin. This is set in the Game of Thrones universe. But this one is aimed at a little bit younger audience, I think, but it was a good read. But the big draw for me, really, beyond that, is this thing is illustrated by one of my favorite artists of all time. The art here is by Luis Royo. Just an incredible Spanish artist that I'm used to seeing his art on a lot of fantasy and sword and sorcery covers, and he's illustrated some of the insides of a few of those. Yeah, I have always loved this guy's art. I've never seen him do a how can I say it? I'm used to his art being decidedly R-rated, okay, and being on like Conan and books like that, and sword and sorcery stuff. I mean, you could say that Game of Thrones is certainly sword and sorcery, but as I said, this one is by Tor Teen, so I think it's aimed at a slightly younger audience. So we get to see Luis Royo do art that doesn't feature naked women, which is, it's just something different that I have never seen before, quite frankly, but it is fabulous. So this story, it can be read completely standalone. I've never read any of the other George R.R. Martin Game of Thrones books. In fact, I never read anything by him before. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the TV series, certainly, but I had never read any of his stuff before. And it is a quick read. It is only, let's see in my notes here, it's 120 pages long. It's very short, like a novella, you might say. Short novel, for sure. And I had a good time with it. I thought it was good. It is about Adara, is her name? Yeah, Adara, a child of ice. So I think she's supposed to be about 7 years old throughout most of the events here. And she befriends this ice dragon. And the ice dragons is something we haven't seen explored a lot in the TV shows. I mean, yeah, I think we see them a little bit toward the end there. But it's examined here in some detail, and they are some fearsome creatures. Instead of breathing fire, they breathe frost and snow and all of that. I mean, we did see some of that toward the last season or two of Game of Thrones. But here you find out that these creatures are, the legend is that they can't be tamed or ridden. But Adara, she has an affinity for these creatures since, as a very small child, and she just likes them. In fact, she loves the cold. Very strange little girl. She likes the frozen wastes and the cold, and she gravitates toward that, and everyone else, they can sense there's something off about her, something's wrong with Adara. But she ends up befriending this particular ice dragon, and you see all that. Like I said, it is lavishly illustrated by Luis Royo, and it is awesome. I will show a bunch of scans of that. And I don't know what I can say really about the story, without giving away spoilers. But yeah, it's sort of it's almost a slice of life type thing for the Game of Thrones universe in some ways, because she's a little girl living on this farm. She's not part of the conflicts that's going on with all these different countries and things. But she has relatives that are dragon riders, and one comes to visit all the time, and she doesn't care for him a lot. She doesn't like the dragon. It's a regular fire-breathing dragon. She likes the ice dragons that, everyone else is just deathly afraid of. And it has a nice ending. I liked how it ended. Not a lot I can get into here without getting into major spoilers, but I did have fun with it. If you're already reading the Game of Thrones books, then you certainly want this as part of your collection. And if you're just a big fan of Luis Royo art, then you want it for that reason. it even has a cover comes apart here and opens up to this very cool poster size deal here. Kind of a little mini. I'll see if I can get a scan of this. I don't think it'll fit on my flatbed, but I might be able to piece it together with Photoshop. So I'll give that a shot. If I can, I'll put it up here so you can see it better. But yeah, fantastic art. It's a nice story. I liked it a lot. Liked the ending. And yeah, it's certainly safe for younger readers too. Yeah, one thing I did make a note of here, and if I can put on my actually hat, you know, the dragons as depicted in Game of Thrones, well, the TV show certainly, are not really dragons. They're wyverns. You know, what's the difference? Well, a dragon has 4 legs and wings. A wyvern doesn't have front legs. He just has the wings, and that's what you got here. And it is depicted in here in the royal art the same way. So he stayed true to that part, to that aspect. Now, I didn't notice in the text that Martin ever talked about how many limbs they had, you know. So I'm guessing Royo either took cues from him that aren't in the text, or he took cues from the TV show, which depicts them as wyverns, really, instead of true dragons that have 4 legs and wings. But there I did my my very nerdy, actually, they're not dragons. But had to throw that in. But yeah, this was a quick one. I give this one 9 out of 10. There's really nothing here that I would change. I mean, other than I wouldn't mind seeing this in a larger format to better show off that gorgeous artwork. But, you know, that's just me. So, hope you like taking a quick look at this one. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'm going to catch you next time.